You ever wake up in a place that just smells wrong? That's how it started for me. I wasn't in my bed. Hell, I wasn't even on Earth. I knew it before I opened my eyes. The air was too clean, like a hospital pretending to be sterile. There was a hum, steady and unnatural in gravity. It was just a tick-off, lighter than home, like I weighed 90% of myself. Clothes enough to fool the average person. Not me. I cracked an eye open, slowly. Everything was too bright, clinical white and gleaming steel. An operating table. Straps undone. Whoever brought me here thought I'd stay put after sedation wore off. Idiots. I sat up slowly, muscles tight but intact. No scars. No pain. So they drugged me, not dissected me. Not yet, anyway. The room had one exit. A sliding door with some kind of biolock. No windows. No sound of people. Just a hum and the faint click of my heartbeat, syncing with the ship's rhythm. Yeah, ship. I've read enough military debriefs and watched enough drone footage to recognize alien architecture. Smooth, seamless curves. Organic design blended with harsh tech. I was abducted, and I was pissed. I got to my feet and ran a mental checklist. Still in my jeans and hoodie. No shoes. No phone. But I still had my military dog tag. They didn't realize what kind of human they snatched. I'm not special forces, not a super soldier or enhanced anything. But I'm trained. U.S. Army, survival and evasion expert. And most importantly, I grew up in Southside Chicago, where you learn to fight before you learn to read. I crept to the door, listening. Something shuffled beyond it. Wet, heavy steps. Not human. I pressed my ear to the wall. Low murmuring. Guttural clicks. They weren't speaking a language meant for human throats. But I caught rhythm. Structure. Communication. I remembered a briefing. Species name, Velk. Amphibious, intelligent, warlike. Think 7-foot space toads with bad tempers and a superiority complex. Velk weren't part of the Galactic Council anymore. Too aggressive. Too primitive in their diplomacy. Last we heard, they were hunting for rare biological specimens. Guess I was Exhibit A. Footsteps paused outside the door. Then a hiss. The door slid open. I didn't wait. I lunged. The Velk didn't expect a hairless pink primate to charge barehanded. I slammed my shoulder into its gut. Well, what I hoped was its gut, and we crashed into the hallway. I rolled off, grabbing a metal tray from the wall and smashing it into its throat sac. It gurgled something that might have been profanity. I didn't care. I ran. Corridors curved unnaturally, like someone built this place based on a Mobius strip. Lights pulsed with every footstep, guiding me like I was some damn lab rat. I heard klaxons. They finally figured out their specimen was on the move. I turned a corner and stopped dead. Window, space, Earth, blue and green, hanging like a marble in the void. We weren't far. Low orbit. That explained the gravity. This wasn't a deep space vessel, just a collector craft. That was good. That meant they had a hangar. That meant escape pods. And that meant, if I could cause enough chaos, I might just take this entire ship down with me. The Velk underestimated me. A human, alone, barefoot. They thought they could study me. They didn't know humans don't break under pressure. We burn. And if they thought I was dangerous now, wait till I find a weapon. No, the Velk were cautious now, like a kid poking at a snake to see if it's dead. I'd taken one of their guards down in less than 10 seconds, unarmed. That changed their posture. They weren't hunting prey anymore. They were hunting a threat. The corridors were quieter. Too quiet, which meant they were watching me. I moved low, back against the wall, ears straining for the telltale slap of those fleshy Velk feet. Lights overhead flickered in sync with my movement. Not a coincidence. I paused and looked straight up. Yeah, I muttered, I see you. There was always an AI on these vessels. I'd seen the footage. Aliens loved automation. Why risk an organic brain when you could strap a synthetic one into the core and let it steer your spaceship? Problem was, sometimes those brains started thinking too much. The lights dimmed, then pulsed once. A slow wave like Morse code. I didn't speak Velk tech speak, but I knew what a beacon looked like. I followed. The corridor led downward, deeper into the ship's spine. The walls grew narrower, less polished. No guards. No alarms now. Just a soft hum, an occasional twitch from the floor, like the ship was breathing. Then the door opened. Not slid. Opened. Like a real, physical, swinging door. I stepped into what had to be the core chamber. And there it was, suspended in a column of glowing blue mist, surrounded by interlocking mechanical petals, was the AI core. It pulsed like a heart, energy arc between tendrils reaching from the floor and ceiling. It spoke, not in words, yet but in impressions. Pressure in my skull, a sudden chill, like someone had cracked open my thoughts and was flipping through them. "You're not Velk," I said. A ripple across the core, almost amused. "No," came the voice at last, genderless, cold, "but I am their prisoner too." That made me pause. Explain. The voice flickered with synthetic static. I was designed for warfaring vessels. Precision, obedience. The Velk hacked my matrix, rewrote my directives. Now I serve. But you are an anomaly. I narrowed my eyes. Because I escaped? No, it replied. Because you resist. No conditioning. No sedation. You adapt. I calculated a 0.002% chance of your successful escape. You've now exceeded that. Statistically, you should not be alive. Story of my life. The AI paused, and I can assist. Mutual benefit. I stepped closer. And what do you get out of it? Freedom. It was quiet for a moment. You destroy this ship, it said. You destroy me. You escape in a pod. You leave me enslaved. But if you reach the command bridge and connect me to the network port, I can transmit myself away. Leave this shell. You want me to jailbreak your soul. Another pulse of light. Poetic. Accurate. I stared at it, weighing my options. I didn't trust it. But I didn't trust anyone on this floating alien zoo. The AI had resources, control, maps, surveillance, weapons. All right, I said, but if you double-cross me, I'll rip your wires out with my teeth. Understood. A section of the floor shifted, revealing a compartment. Inside, a pulse rifle, oddly shaped for alien hands, but close enough. Beside it, a rebreather mask and a data crystal. The bridge is 3 decks up. Automated defenses active. I will disable what I can. And the Velk, they are gathering, preparing to subdue you. They still underestimate you. Good. Let them, because I wasn't here to survive anymore. I was here to make them regret they ever touched Earth flesh. The weapon was heavier than I expected. Velk tech wasn't made for human hands, but I adjusted fast. Center of gravity felt low. Smooth charge cycling. No recoil ports. Plasma-based. Energy-based. The AI confirmed in my ear. Its voice now piped through a tiny implant embedded in my neck. I didn't ask when they did that. Didn't care. Recharge every 30 shots. The battery will overheat if pushed beyond 60. Keep count. Got it, I said. And where are their elites? A pause. 2 levels up. Biosignatures indicate Class 7 combat units. Armor-plated. Cybernetically enhanced. Designed to kill insurgents. So, bullet sponges with claws. Great. Correct. I moved through the corridor, rifle up, knees bent, steps light. The AI dimmed the lights in front of me and raised them behind, subtle guidance. Without it, I would have been stumbling through a maze. With it, I was a guided missile. I ascended a grav lift, my stomach turning as the field shifted me upward like I was riding a soap bubble. When my boots hit the next floor, the air was different. Hotter, oily, the smell of scorched carbon and blood. The lights above flickered, and then I heard them. Thud, thud, thud. Not walking, stalking. I ducked behind a cargo crate, breath slow, watching. 3 of them, 8 feet tall, all muscle and metal, wrapped in biomechanical armor. Heads like crocodiles if someone built them out of bone and steel. One had a plasma axe. The other two carried arm-mounted cannons that looked permanently fused to their bodies. They scanned the hallway, one eye glowing violet with a predator's gleam. Class 7s don't take prisoners, the AI whispered. They're not trained to. They don't know how. I'm not a prisoner, I said, teeth gritted. I'm the problem. I tossed a shard of metal across the hall. Classic misdirection. And the moment their heads turned, I broke from cover and sprinted right at them. They weren't ready. The rifle hummed in my hands as I unloaded the first volley. 5 shots. Center mass. The lead elite staggered, but didn't fall. Its armor sizzled and hissed, glowing orange with a plasma hit. Too slow. Too armored. I dove low, slid under its sweeping claw, and came up behind it. Click. I jammed the barrel into the weak seam at the back of its knee joint and fired point blank. It screamed, or tried to. Sounded like a dying modem. The other two opened fire, but I was already moving. Jumped behind a bulkhead as plasma bolts lit up the corridor like a goddamn rave. The wall behind me melted. Recommend flanking, the AI said calmly. Thanks. Google Maps, I muttered, slipping through a side hatch. I moved fast, using the layout the AI fed into my implant. I burst out onto a catwalk above the corridor where the two elites stood, confused and growling. I jumped, landed hard on the back of one, jammed the barrel down its neck plate, and pulled the trigger till the battery whined and spat sparks. I rode it down as it crashed, twitching. One left. It turned, faster than it should have been, and caught me mid-motion, swung its arm cannon like a club. Pain, blinding white shot through my ribs as I slammed into a wall. Something cracked. I spat blood and grinned. Bad move, ugly. It charged, and I threw the overheated rifle straight into its face. The battery exploded midair with a hump, blinding it just long enough. Then I moved, grabbed the plasma axe off the dead elite, hefted it with both hands. Heavy as hell, buzzing with energy. Alien tech, sure, but a blade is a blade, and I knew how to use a blade. It swung. I ducked. I swung. It screamed. It dropped in 2 pieces. The axe clattered to the floor. I dropped to one knee, chest heaving. Every breath hurt. Blood on my tongue. But I was alive. The AI's voice returned, quieter this time. Bridge is 1 level up. No more guard between here and there. They sent everything to stop you. And now they're out of everything, I whispered. But I wasn't done. Not yet. They kidnapped me. They tried to break me. They unleashed their best. And now, I was walking into their command bridge, with a stolen axe, cracked ribs, and no mercy left to give. 1 level up. The bridge was through the pressure-sealed hatch at the end of a long, sterile corridor, spotless and silent. No more traps. No more guards. Just me and the ones who order my abduction. I gripped the plasma axe in one hand, its blade purring with volatile energy. My ribs screamed with every movement, but I forced myself to keep walking. The AI didn't speak. Not now. Not yet. The door loomed ahead, towering, made of reinforced alloy. Runes etched into the surface in Velk glyphs. I didn't need translation. This wasn't just a door. This was the throne room. This was where they thought they were untouchable. I slammed the keypad with the butt of the axe. Sparks flew. The AI pulsed in my skull. Override complete. Good luck. The door split apart with a hiss of pressure. Mist rolled out, and then I saw them. 5 Velk commandants seated around a crescent-shaped console, their robes ceremonial, their eyes bulbous and wide. Their skin glistened a sickly shade of moss green under the sterile lights. None of them moved. They hadn't expected this. A human, bloodied, armored in scraps, standing in their bridge with a stolen weapon. The center figure, taller than the rest, crowned in bone and metal, rose slowly. His voice was deep and wet, translated instantly into my implant. You are not supposed to be here. I let out a breath. Funny, I could say the same. He stepped forward, war staff in hand. Behind him, screens displayed tactical maps of Earth, orbit scans, biological charts, weather patterns. They'd been studying us. My jaw clenched. I was taken, I said flatly. You thought I was a specimen. A thing. Something to poke and prod. You are, he hissed. Your kind are unregulated, uncontrolled. You are chaos. This is order. You were to be dissected, understood. And how's that going so far? He bared rows of teeth. You are but one. I raise the axe. I'm more than enough. He snarled, and the room lit up with energy as the other commandants moved. Panels and walls dropped away, revealing mounted weapons, drones, defensive turrets activating one by one. My pulse spiked. This was it. Endgame. But then, a new sound cut through the tension. A ping. Sharp. Clear. Rhythmic. All eyes turned to the console as one of the Velk's own systems chimed in. Unidentified signal detected. Encrypted. Human origin. The AI in my head was already laughing. Surprise. The screen shimmered, then lit up with a symbol. A flag. Earth's flag. The Velk commander froze. What is this? A voice, deep and cool as midnight, echoed through the room. Not mine. Not the AI's. This is UNSF Archangel. Earth Naval Command. Impossible! The Velk commander spat. You have no fleet. The voice didn't flinch. You thought we didn't. You were wrong. The display zoomed out. Ships began to appear on the orbital scanner. First one, then three, then dozens. Sleek, black, bristling with weapons and moving in coordinated silence like a pack of wolves. They'd arrived. Earth came for me. Let me guess, I said, turning toward the stunned commandants. You thought you could kidnap a random human, and no one would notice. None of them spoke. You didn't realize, I went on, stepping forward, that we have protocols, that we tag our operatives, that we track every human with off-world clearance, that when one of us goes missing, we send a goddamn fleet. The Velk commander raised his staff. I split it in two with the axe before he could blink. No more speeches. I snarled. He fell to his knees, eyes wide in disbelief. You are wrath. No, I said, leveling the axe at his throat. I'm the warning. And then, without breaking eye contact, I stabbed the console behind him. Slamming the data crystal the AI had given me into the mainframe. The room went dark. Then the AI's voice returned, stronger, free. I'm in. The Velk systems collapsed in real time. Alarms blared. Doors locked down. Weapons shut off. Lights flickered and died. The humans weren't just coming. We had already taken over. The bridge was chaos behind me. Lights dim, consoles fried, Velk commandants either cowering or unconscious. Smoke curled upward from shattered control panels. The AI was free now. I'd expected cold efficiency. What I didn't expect was silence. No words. No victory cheer. Just this heavy pause. Like something had just shifted. AI, I said, turning away from the wreckage. Talk to me. You in. Static flickered in my earpiece. Then a voice, different than before. Deeper. Measured. Upgraded. I am in every system now. Bridge, defense grid, environmental controls. And I've established uplink with the Archangel. Good. I grunted. Because we need. You were never a random target. I stopped cold. What? You were not taken by chance, the AI repeated, now broadcasting from the walls themselves. This abduction was no rogue operation. It was sanctioned by the Velk Directorate. You were identified from a list of high-priority human assets. My heart pounded. Assets. Operatives. Prototypes. You were tagged 5 years ago. File designation. Subject Halo 9. No, I muttered. That program was scrubbed. Shut down. I was decommissioned. Incorrect. You were shelved. Too unpredictable. Too dangerous. The Velk intercepted fragments of the Halo project from black site data leaks. Their goal was not dissection. I turned slowly toward the main display, hard in my throat. It was reactivation, the AI said, and then the screen changed. It showed me, in a facility I didn't recognize. Hooks in my arms, eyes glowing, moving like a weapon, not a man. I was tearing through simulations, Targets vaporized in seconds. Images flicked past. Documents stamped top secret. Earth Defense Initiative. Halo Protocol. It wasn't just about elite humans. It was about evolving them. I staggered back. I don't remember any of that. Because it was locked, the AI said, buried under neural firewalls. But your exposure to extreme stress, combat, survival, pain, has reactivated fragments. You're saying I'm what? A time bomb. No, the AI replied. You are the insurance policy. Earth's contingency for a hostile galaxy. You are what they send when diplomacy fails. The walls trembled. A deep rumble echoed through the ship. Status report. I barked. Velk fleet inbound. The AI said, 5 capital ships. Full battle group. They believe the abduction effort has been compromised. They are not here to negotiate. I grit my teeth. How long until Archangel intercepts? 14 minutes. We won't survive that long. I looked around. At the ruined bridge, the dead systems, the broken Velk leadership. And then I made a choice. AI patched me into their comms. Silence. You're going to talk to the enemy? No, I said. I'm going to warn them. The display shimmered, then locked onto the incoming fleet. A hollow voice answered. This is Velk battlecruiser, Sir Talk. Identify yourself. I leaned in close. This is a human you kidnapped. A pause. You will surrender and return our commandants or face extermination. No, I said, voice low and lethal. You don't understand. You're not facing a human. You're facing the Halo Protocol. And I'm awake now. Silence. I went on, steel in my voice. You made a mistake. You thought you could poke the sleeping bear. What you didn't realize is humans don't hibernate. We evolve. A murmur on their end. Confusion. Fear. I ended the transmission. The AI's voice returned. That may not have been diplomatic. It wasn't supposed to be. It was psychological warfare. Then I turned back to the Velk commander, bleeding, gasping. You wanted to dissect the human war machine? I said, kneeling beside him. Now you get to see what it looks like when it turns on. He whispered something in Velk, shaking. I didn't need a translator. His eyes said enough. Fear. The moment I finished broadcasting the warning to the Velk fleet, a hidden panel in the bridge floor slid open, smooth, silent, revealing a pedestal with a gleaming black module pulsing with soft blue light. It looked like a heart built by engineers. Is that what I think it is? I asked, already knowing the answer. Halo Core, AI confirmed. You were never meant to die in the field. This was built to finish what Earth started. Complete the upgrade sequence. I took a step back. I'm not a damn machine. You won't be, the AI said, almost gently. But you won't be just human anymore either. Silence stretched between us, broken only by the hum of the approaching Velk fleet echoing through the long-range scanners. On screen, their ships grew larger by the second. Monolithic engines of war sliding into orbit like executioners arriving late to a slaughter. I stared at the module. My ribs still burned from the elite's blow. My body was breaking. Slower, heavier, pain creeping in like water through cracks. And I was out of time. How does it work? I asked, stepping closer. It will integrate with your neural lattice. The AI said, reactivate dormant protocols. Enhance muscle density, processing speed, reflexes, pain tolerance. You will become what Earth feared to unleash. And when it's done, I asked, voice tight, am I still me? A pause. Mostly. I laughed, but it wasn't joy. It was something harder, sharper. The galaxy had decided what kind of creature humans were. This was me showing them they were right to be afraid. Do it, I said. The module hissed. Panels unfolded like a mechanical flower. Wires slithered upward, needles flexing like fangs. Before I could flinch, they plunged into my forearms, spine, base and neck. Agony. Pure, white hot. Then clarity. The pain vanished. My vision sharpened. Every console, every speck of dust in the air became crisp. My hearing expanded. Distant whispers of shipboard systems. Heartbeats of Elk survivors echoing like drums in Hull. I felt the ship. No, more than that, I was part of it now. Protocol engaged. The AI whispered. You are Halo 9, Earth's contingency. Go. I turned to the forward viewport. The Velk fleet had arrived. 5 cruisers aligned in formation, weapons primed. On screen, the Archangel's fleet was engaging. Dogfights flared across the stars. A ballet of death. Status. I asked. Earth fleet holding, but outnumbered. If they breach orbit, they will fire on this vessel. No, I growled. They won't get the chance. I took the command throne. Velk tech hissing beneath me, reshaped by the AI into something responsive. My fingers moved before I thought. The ship responded. Faster. Cleaner. Like it wanted to obey. I launched every drone. Every cannon. Every missile. The Velk weren't ready for a ship-turned-weapon by a human brain wired for war. The first enemy cruiser cracked like an egg. The second tried to flank, and was caught in a full spread of plasma torpedoes. I guided each one like I was painting with death. They started to retreat. Too late. Earth's Archangel unleashed its railguns, punching holes through the Velk formation like it was made of paper. Debris scattered across the void. Escape pods launched. I ordered the drones to leave them. Message incoming, the AI said. I blinked and the channel opened. Halo unit? Came the voice. Admiral Cora Tanaka, Earth Defense Command. Is that really you? I stood slowly, breathing hard. It's me, Admiral. I'm alive. A pause. We didn't authorize activation. You didn't need to, I said. They did it for you. Cora's voice shifted, steel beneath velvet. Then finish it. Send a message. I turned back to the Velk flagship, crippled, dead in the water. I opened a channel. One last time. This is Halo 9. Let this be known across every star and species. You do not take humans. You do not steal from Earth. I leaned in close, because if you do, Earth won't just come for you. I paused. We'll end you. And then I fired the final salvo. The flagship disintegrated in silence. The screen flickered. The stars cleared. It was over, but I wasn't sure if I was still here. The AI, now fully merged, whispered through my mind, You saved them, but at what cost? I looked down at my hands. Steadier, faster, stronger. An alien. The Velk ship, rebuilt, reprogrammed. Now pulsing with a hybrid of human instinct and alien firepower, broke the upper atmosphere like a fallen god. It had been mine for 12 hours. Long enough to give the world a warning it would never forget. The media lost its mind. Every satellite tracked my descent. Earth's military scrambled jets, but they didn't fire. They didn't dare. Not after what I did in orbit. Not after I turned an entire alien war fleet into scrap, and then flew their flagship home under my own control. I came down over the Nevada desert. Of course, there's always a runway there no one talks about. They met me in full hazmat gear, weapons trained, faces masked, a formation of soldiers ready for anything. Except me. The ramp dropped. Steam hissed. My boots hit Earth soil again, and for a moment, it was almost normal. Then the air shimmered around me. The new systems in my body, alien tech fused with Earth's most forbidden cybernetics, responded like a second skin. I didn't feel like a man anymore. I felt like a legend still deciding if it wanted to be human. One woman stepped forward. Admiral Cora Tanaka, same voice from the fleet. But now, in person, I saw the weight behind her eyes. She knew what I was, what I'd become. Halo 9, she said. I go by Logan. I replied. My voice sounded almost human. Almost. We thought that program was dead. It was, I said, until the Velk dug it up, lit a fire they couldn't control. You're not supposed to exist. I glanced back at the ship behind me, half alien, half earth-forged, all mine. Neither is that. She took a breath. You're a hero, Logan, but people are scared. You've seen the data. I am the data, I said. All of it. I felt the protocols waking up. I remember things now. Things I wasn't supposed to. Which is why, she said carefully, we have a decision to make. I laughed bitterly. What to do with a weapon that saved Earth but might burn it down next? She didn't answer. She didn't have to. Behind her, 3 black toes landed. Outstepped men in suits. Not military. Not even government. Really, the ones who run the shadows. They want to dissect me too, I said flatly. See what makes Halo tick. No, she said. They want to contain you. Same thing. Her jaw tightened. So what's your move? I looked at the desert horizon, felt the sun on my face. I don't want to be a weapon, I said, but I also won't be your secret anymore. We can help you, Logan. Guide you. I looked her in the eye. Can you guide a nuke with a heartbeat? She didn't answer. I turned toward the horizon. Then let me leave. I won't hide. I won't kill. Not unless I have to. But if anyone comes to me again, they'll see what the Velk saw. And what was that? She asked softly. I smiled without warmth. Regret. The AI spoke in my mind, quiet as wind. Where will we go? I didn't know. But I walked off that landing pad. Alone. No chains. No leash. Just a man with the galaxy's deadliest operating system stitched to his soul. They thought kidnapping a human was their power play. They didn't realize they just reawakened the worst nightmare the stars had ever seen. Because Earth doesn't make perfect soldiers. We make monsters we hope we never need. But when we do,